All right, all right. Thanks for joining us. We're up for another great edition here of Nuke the House, NBA, live college basketball. And joining me this week with our special guest, Zargo's going to help us out. We got a pretty big hockey game. Not even look at my fantasy team, which means I'm doing really crappy for the playoffs, but we'll deal with that as we go. Welcome, Zargo. How you doing? See everybody else doing ads, and I did nothing because I was completely swamped at work. So,
Man, I've been lovely. It's been an enjoyable day of college hoops. Like you said, just a massive NHL slate. I've been slumping. I've been in a real slump across all sports, but looking to get out of it today. Looking so
at
good
the
on
end of the
basketball.
season, you're kind of having to figure out motivation, which is kind of like, come on.
Yeah, it's been tough. I mean, the schedule, the slate hasn't really helped us. Just a lot of heavy favorites, which doesn't make betting easy.
No.
And those scrappy teams aren't nearly as scrappy as they were earlier in the year, for sure. What's your primary focus today?
Be honest, I don't know. I'm gonna do my bitch and moan about college basketball. Clemson. So we will bitch and moan about that a little bit today, tonight. But we've got some good college basketball games on the slate. We've got 2 NBA games at 7:00, and we've got a massive hockey slate that's going on. And apparently, I missed Donovan Tays being able to put up. That game hasn't actually started though. I should be able to.
Do you have Clemson ties, or did you just bet on them?
I bet on them. I really thought they were going to win today. I thought basically you're kind of coming in, you're playing a lame duck coach who's already taken a job elsewhere. So to basically think that his kids were going to rally for him, and quite frankly, and I will break this game down. This is a coaching faux pas on the Clemson side. It's just absolutely stupid. So if you're not aware, Clemson went 1 for 19 from 3 in the first half. They scored 15 points. I know you're not a big basketball guy, but generally you're not going to win a lot of basketball games that you score 15 points in the first half.
They scored 13, I believe, in the first half.
Oh, 13. Okay. Well, actually, I thought they got a 15-1 at the end. Might be 13, 15 points, regardless of the fact. They didn't score any points.
It's 13.
But the reason is because when something doesn't work, there is a time, and I've coached basketball for 6 years. So there is a time in the game when you have to sit there and tell your guys, look, here it is, the 10-minute mark. Next kid that shoots a 3 is sitting next to me for the end of the half. Just telling you that right now. We need to take it inside. We either need to get to the line or we need to take 15-foot jumpers and in. Because we have to score points. We cannot go into halftime scoring less than 15 points. And they did not do that. There was no what I saw anytime the coach basically chewing into his players, anything like that. Maybe the team's very, very soft. But for the most part, you've got to do that. You just have to. You have to sit there and say, hey, look, this is what it's going to be. And I need you to get going. So, and guys, we're going to make adjustments, and this is the adjustments we're going to make.
So, much to your chagrin, then, I did bet on McNeese today. I had a very scientific approach. Would you like to know what it is?
Your dog picked it?
Not quite. So, okay. I don't know how many years in a row now we have some crazy team that you never heard of make the Sweet 16. And I was looking at my bracket, and I said, McNeese, I've never heard of them. That must be the team this year that's making the Sweet 16. That was my approach. It seemed to work out. Nearly didn't, because, I mean, as much as you're railing them about the first half, man, they had a hell of a second half of the second half and really rallied back. And I thought it was going to be one of those crazy March Madness games, and they were going to win.
It was, but it was never really in doubt. I mean, you got to remember, they got it down to 2 points because they scored a basket at the end with 0.
Well, no, I know, but even on that, I mean, so they send them to the line with like 10 seconds. And then, I don't know, it's just one of those things, like you're watching a basketball game, of course anything can happen, but just like in March, truly anything can happen. I'm like, I really thought there was a good chance they were going to drive down, hit the 3, foul them, and really kind of give themselves a real shot. But they obviously missed that 3, got the layup, and then the game ended.
All right, so we'll talk quickly. We got some games getting off here, so we'll try to get to that. Okay. I put the scroll everything I'm on in the games, and we'll talk. So first game's there. You got the Pacers versus the Nets coming there. Cam Johnson's going to sit. Halliburton's going to sit. Basically similar lineup the Pacers have had the last 2 games. No props. So what we're going to roll on that, we're going to roll with Toppin again at 10 points. I personally took Mathurin at 16.5. I am going to take Pascal Siakam at over 20.5 points. He's got over this in the last 4 games with Halliburton being out, scoring a little more, actually hitting a lot of threes. So his threes are at over 1.5 at plus 140. I personally took that as well. Then on the opposite side, you're basically going to have no Cam Johnson. Jalen Wilson's going to slide in. I took Wilson as a personal play, but I'm going to take Zaire Williams at 11.5 points. He's hit this number in 4 of the last 5. Before that, it was 3 of the last 4. So I like this play, 11.5 points. I think he's going to get plenty of shots in this game. I'm interested to see what the pace is played in this game because the Nets like to play at a slow pace, but versus the Pacers without Cam Johnson, they may just run and done this. The other play is a play we've been taking for a while is Day'Ron Sharpe over 8.5 points. Day'Ron Sharpe's been an absolute beast when he's gotten the opportunity. I like the play at 8.5. You're getting it at plus 100. It's either going to be 8 or 10 points. So I like where we're sitting at from there. Then we have the Knicks and Charlotte. No Mitchell Robinson tonight. So it's just going to be Karl Anthony Towns is really the only center. Her party is actually out too. So we're looking at a Charlotte team. LaMelo's going to play. I'm going to ride LaMelo here. He's been taking about 9 threes in these games that don't matter anymore. He's also taking roughly about 16 shots. So I like the opportunity here. So I'm taking that. We're also taking Daquan Jeffries. He got the start last week, and he started a couple games now, but he started with nobody else playing, and he scored 19 points. I love it when I get a guy under 10 who's starting, who just had a big game because all the other starters out, because his confidence is going to be sky high here. 7.5 points is kind of a steal. I'm taking that at 7.5. I think he probably gets 10 plus tonight. And then on the opposite side, we're going to ride Josh Hart until they basically juice up the line. Right now, they're giving us plus money. So we're taking Josh Hart at 6.5 assists at plus money. So we'll go ahead and ride that as well. So on to hockey. What do you got? I'm going to go grab a pizza.
Yeah, absolutely. You're good. So, I mean, like I said, massive slate getting underway right now. First bet I got in is the Maple Leafs money line. So in deep money, I'll get to that Montreal game because short answer is I do like Montreal, but I'll talk about that here in a second. I just want to look at the goalies real quick, make sure I got that info correct. It's just Sturkin against Storlaz. So rather see Wolves, but we'll be fine with Storlaz, Sorokin. Okay, cool. So looking at the Maple Leafs here, they won their last 2 after that, to put it lightly, speed bump, where they lost 5 of 6. Seem to get it right now, being back at home, slaughtered Calgary, had a nice win against the Avalanche. As for the Rangers, they've been sloppy. They've lost 6 of their last 8. They can't even score. I mean, 1-2 against Calgary, 1-3 against Edmonton, 1-2 against Winnipeg. Let the Wild take them to overtime. So I just don't think they're playing great hockey. So I do like I do like Toronto to beat up on the Rangers at home. That's my first play. Every night you look at the Senators and you look at the Canadiens, 2 teams typically underdogs that you really got to think about and figure out this is a slot where they're going to pull up that upset. I do like Ottawa. Everyone is kind of beating up on Colorado right now. They're not playing their best. They're sneaking out wins that they are, or they're just losing outright. Ottawa coming off that tough loss at Montreal, being back at home, just catching even money. I do think Ottawa's a smart play here. They're playing tremendous. I mean, they won 6 in a row before taking that loss to Montreal, so everything's clicking for them. Right time of year to see that. So with the slump we've seen from Colorado, I like them. Now, Islanders, they screwed us the other night against Pittsburgh. Crazy third period comeback to beat the Penguins 4-2. Before that, to beat Florida. So, I mean, they just kind of caught a nice skid there. That 4-2 win against the Penguins, not as nice as that scoreboard would seem. So seeing how well Montreal has been playing it, and they're kind of on the bubble. Excuse me. A non-official play with the I do like them.
Well, your dog seems to have different ideas. He is definitely
always. You know what, though, with the way my bets have been going recently, I can't say I blame them. They're probably making a mint fading me right now. So that's where I'm at, looking at the early slate.
Well, I was talking to one person in the chat. They were like, well, I always do a bracket. Then my wife fills out a bracket. And then my dog normally fills out the third one. The dog does better than all of us.
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, so like obviously we're doing a one of work, and all the people are like, oh, I don't know anything. I promise you, the less you know about basketball, the better.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're able to sometimes say the 1 and 2 is going to win, then yeah. But yeah, a lot of times it also all depends on how your brackets are spiced out. If you got one of those brackets where you go 2 points, then 4 points, and 8, yeah, you can get the most right. But that's 64 points because they have Iowa State, because they like the word cyclone.
I think that's the thing too.
I lost because of that. So yeah,
I think too many people hung up on trying to pick the upsets, and it's like the further we go in the bracket, those are more important. So trying to predict a 2 seed to get upset in the first round isn't going to benefit you, because people who just have that 2 seed going all the way to the Final Four, they're getting those more points there at the end. So that's why it's just a crapshoot.
I mean, you sit there and you look at that, and it's one of the things. Like, I was on there and I talked, and I did my bracket, filled it out. I said this last night, and it's the first time ever that I basically was like, I got the Elite Eight. I was like, shit, I'm all chalk. I'm all chalk. And then I found out later that Greg Hoops Peterson, Jay Billis, 3 other guys from ESPN are basically saying, I don't see how it's not 1-2 in the Elite Eight.
Sure.
So some of these games so I'll start my day off of there, how we did today. So I missed the High Point Purdue game. I thought that game was going to go over. For some reason, High Point tried to do a half-court game with Purdue in the first half, which was absolutely stupid. Kind of explored in the second half. It's fine. I had Wisconsin minus 16.5. That worked out fine. Houston, I had team total over in the first half, but I had the first half under, so I just split there. I thought Creighton and Louisville would bounce back and forth of who would win it. Creighton got the lead, and Louisville never came back. So that didn't work out that great for me from that perspective. Arkansas and Kansas starts. I kind of like Arkansas in this game. The world's on Kansas, but I kind of like Arkansas. Tennessee and Wofford, I've got the under here. We'll see how well this goes. The last under I played last night of a 132 had 87 points in the first half. So they only needed 36 points in the second half. That laughably went over. VCU, I thought would beat BYU. I was off on that. So,
oh no, I like BYU to make the Sweet 16. They're a hot team.
Yeah,
look out for them.
Parlays with Clemson money line. The question, I thought VCU was going to speed them up. Whoever played their style of offense was going to win that game. That's what a lot of things you can look at with college basketball, especially the tournament. If you can see these teams starting to play their style of offense, the game's over. It's these kids so much can't get it back. And that's what you saw with the Clemson game was they're like, all right, well, you're playing a 2-3 zone, so we're going to move it around. And we had great ball movement because I'm literally the announcers tell me how great the McNeese defense is. And it reminded me of the Lakers, of everyone telling me how great the Lakers are because they look at this field goal percentage and say, oh, they're shooting less than 40% for the field. Well, the team's taking, for the most part, nothing but threes. The threes are wide open. So when they play teams that can actually shoot, they get killed. When they play teams that have guys who really shouldn't be shooting threes, and you're just having great ball movement, but you're giving it to a guy who shouldn't be shooting. Now, Clemson had guys who should be shooting threes, but they were so far off. You got to be going, okay, our sight lines are way off. Got to just turn around. But I could talk about that game all night, but that really pissed me off. But we'll go through. The Yale game is the biggest game. You got to remember, Yale's a returning team. Yale came back here. They beat Auburn last year of the big upset. They come back here with almost basically the same team, playing a Texas A&M team who likes to play defense. If Yale can hit their outside shots, they're going to cover. There's a chance for Yale to win this game. The next game is a game I go back and forth on. I think I'm taking Drake with the points pre-flop. I think the game's going to be very, very low pace. It's going to be very, very close to the vest, and that's the only reason I want the points. And then we'll look at the next game at we got some time till 9:25. But I think I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to look for ways to get it on this live. I'm going to try to get on a lot of things live tonight here, guys. Because we don't have a lot going on except for this and hockey, and we'll look for opportunities for hockey. We tipped off like 8 games, and we got 5 more games later right after that. So anything on the 7:30 to 8 o'clock card that you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, so with Kansas, Arkansas getting underway, I do really like Arkansas. Kansas just hasn't been that strong this year, and I like the Calipari factor. I think Arkansas can make some noise. They're up to a 9-5, which I know the site I'm on is not up to the second. So I'm going to get a quick score read on that one, just so I'm not. Yeah, okay, never mind. It is 9-5. So early lead there. I do like Arkansas for the upset. Tennessee, Wofford getting underway. Tennessee should smoke them. And then I agree with you about Yale. I think that's a real easy upset watch. And I like Drake versus Missouri too. Drake's just a scrappy team. Missouri, I mean, they're kind of known for letting you down in March. They've lost 3 of their last 4. There's really nothing exciting about this Missouri team. Of course, you look at Drake. They're 30-3. Sure, they haven't played anyone, but this is the tournament, and this is kind of how things shake up. They're a 11 seed because they haven't played anyone. So now's their chance. So really, both of those upsets I like.
All the way to the 10 o'clock game, overcloud the 9 o'clock games. But I'll tell you right now, Yellow, you're not going to like what I say. So he wants to talk UC San Diego, Michigan. So the darling that has the most buzz is UC San Diego of any team in the tournament.
Yeah.
UC San Diego has the rest advantage. Basically, you're going to have Awani Ty Jones is going to be the best player on the floor. He will be the best player. He's just as good. He's a guy I thoroughly expect if he wasn't a senior that would hit the portal and be gone right after this tournament because he's going to have a pretty good game versus Michigan. UCSD has success. When they played UC Irvine 7-footer, they did really well against him. So they can negate some of the size. They're going to play some kind of zone most of the game. I think this is a game that goes back and forth. I like UC Irvine and the points to start. Sorry, not UC Irvine. UC San Diego with the points to start the game. I think they win it outright. The question everyone has, and it's a legitimate question, which is why people bring it up. You play 3 games in the Big Ten. Then you turn around and you go to Denver to go play an altitude. Versus a team that's going to be scrappy. They're going to get after him. They're going to run with him. They're going to try to give him some exotic looks. I think they can score. I don't think Michigan has that real go-to scorer there. Golden's probably your best guy, and they're going to try to probably do similar to what the Lakers did with Jokic, where Golden would just crowd him up, force him to get rid of the ball, make the other guys beat you.
No, I mean, and that's the thing too, right? Is it's an interesting matchup taking on a Michigan team that had they not just won their conference tournament, I don't think people would be that hype about them. I think San Diego might even be favored, or we'd have a pick on because of how poorly Michigan ended the regular season. So, I mean, that's the thing that, you got to decide how heavily you weigh that. Do you see it as they're playing good basketball when it matters most, or did they just kind of have a hot streak and, San Diego's going to end that?
I mean, the tournament's about getting hot at the right time.
For sure. For sure.
You have to sit there and say, people always tell me, oh, they're quad wins or they're quality wins. I go, what, 2 half-court heaves versus Maryland?
Also, too, if you look at those wins, if those wins are at the beginning of the season, I do not care one bit.
Though, I mean, that's why someone got me in an argument and was like, why did the committee not go to quad wins? Because I said the committee already basically came out and said the 3 metrics we're valued the most are WAP, BPI, and Torvik. Those are the 3 highest things. So if you're in the top 50 in those, you had a good chance to make the tournament. If you weren't, you didn't make the tournament. And that's pretty much what happened.
So I will say, though, to his question about the first half under, I would actually lean over just because Michigan is one of those few teams that whether it's a slow-paced game, they can beat you, or if it's fast-paced, they can still beat you. San Diego prefers to go fast-paced, so I don't see it sailing over. I'm seeing the number at 66.5. So if I had to make a prediction, I would kind of think this is going to be a high-scoring game. What do you think, Fox?
I kind of agree. Well, if your legs are the reason that you're not going with, I'm not going with Michigan because you're thinking tiredness is going to be a factor. First half, they're going to be fresh. Mm-hmm. Second half is when they're going to finally start to feel altitude, start to feel it. So I don't think they'll have much issues in the first half. So I would not really lean towards an under. I don't even know what the first half under was. I'll be honest. I haven't
66.5.
72, 73. What?
66.5.
No, not a chance. Both these teams average close to 80 points a game. Not saying that they're going to score 80, but probably around 70 a game. So mid-70s is probably where I see this game at. So I can't get there. I can't get there at 66. So
you want to talk NBA for the boys?
Yeah, we'll talk NBA. Yellow wants to know my favorite NBA prop tonight.
He sure does.
It's once you get past the 7:00 games, it's kind of who's playing. and I say that because RJ Barrett's out, Ingram's out, Walter's out. I'm thoroughly convinced that Toronto does not want to win a basketball game. The only reason I say that with all there, because their best guys are not closing games. All right, so I do owe you your Clemson money back. I will agree with that too. And the Shake Milton look for 15 points is probably not a bad idea, especially I'd do that before Giannis and Dame get ruled out. I haven't really looked at much of the Lakers. When I looked last time, no one was available. So yeah, Shake Milton at 13.5. I'm laughing. That is 23.5. I'm just laughing. I don't care if everybody and their mother's out. I'm not taking Dalton Connect 23.5. Bronny James is 6.5 tonight. Bronny James has never been 6.5 all year. It's been 5.5, which he didn't hit last time when he was 5. So he's going to get some run in this game. But I'm not taking him to 6.5. I won't be shocked if the Bucks really kind of sit everybody. So they about made the comeback. If they would have tried that like with the 5-minute mark instead of the 3-minute mark, probably would have definitely turned out differently. Now, if they would have just tried it all in the first half to score something inside, it definitely would have turned out differently. But yeah, so Kansas has come all the way back. We're back knotted up at 14. So I expect this game to go back and forth. Different teams taking different runs. I'm really interested in the Bulls lineup. I don't think Josh Giddey is going to go tonight. He went last night. Since he won't go tonight, Levine's also going to go tonight. He didn't go the night before. JV's just a beast. You cannot get away from JV. JV played last night versus a good Cleveland team at 12-13. He's going to play a Bulls team, not the same team. They've been throwing his points over way too high. I would never hit that, but I'd be interested in the double-double, or I'd be interested in the 11.5 rebounds at plus 114. Kevin Huerter, like I said, I don't expect Giddey to go. Getting him at 12.5, I think now is probably a pretty good bet. He's hit this in 5 of his last 6 games. So I don't think Giddey goes. Before he's ruled out 12.5 points. I do like the Shake Milton thing as well, especially at 13.5 points. I think he'll basically go. I'm taking JV at plus 114, and I'm taking Kevin Huerter right now. Oh, he just moved to minus 125. I'm still going to take it. So those would be what I like there. I mean, Golden State is going to win that game. The question is, how long are any of those guys going to play? That's the problem with betting that bet. Fathead agrees with me, and I will tell you, when me and Fathead both agree on the same guy, it's we do pretty well. Not only do we generally hit the prop, we generally exceed the prop. So maybe you dabble on the 15, because that's the most I would go with Huerter. But yeah, you can get plus 136 on that. So it's a good game. Arkansas, Kansas, back and forth. They killed the deficit, 16-15. Looking for a chance live to find a odd that we get. Yale hits the first basket to start that game. If you missed Arkansas, it's back to 4.5. Playing at a really breadneck pace here. 160 points start here. What was the pre-flop on this? 154.5?
On which game?
147. Arkansas and Kansas. So we're 13 points over pace right now. Milton is expected to run. The guy I'd be questioning on that is, I wouldn't be shocked if they throw Bronny James in the starting lineup tonight. I think if they see Lillard and Giannis out, you got a chance here. We'll say, if you do that, you should grab James 6.5 points. As I'm trying to figure out, A, why did they put his prop higher than it's ever been? Playing a Buck team that kind of needs a win, though. That's the only question with this game. They've lost 2 in a row. But from their perspective, Pistons have come up and tied them. Pacers are 1 game above them. So, yeah, they probably do need a win. So maybe Giannis and Dame do go. Just to laugh around this game. I kind of took Gary Trent already early as well. Trent's coming off having a very nice game. Him and Kevin Porter should see the floor a lot tonight. So we'll look at that. We got 11-point lead for Tennessee, 1-point lead for Arkansas. Yale's up 5-4. Really, really early. Drake and Missouri getting ready to tip off in about 30 minutes. Nets are beating the Pacers. Hornets are beating the Knicks. I was going to take the Knicks have been so awful in the first quarter lately. I was going to take the Hornets at that. I totally forgot that. I mean, but they've been god awful. Not like they've got a massive advantage here at 2 points. But I think you were getting 3.5, and I was like, ooh, that was enough. Let's see what's going on. We'll watch a little bit of this game. Dayron's in the game early. That's good.
Oh, Avalanche are up 2-0 early, which sounds about right with how my bet's been going. But Maple Leafs on the power play. Scoreless across the NHL otherwise.
Zaire's got 7 already, so that's good. We only need 5 more points.
Wow. Jeez. Good call.
It's a good call after it cashes. We don't say good call until it comes through. So, yeah.
What was the number, though?
The number was 11.5. So we need 12 points. We're in a very good state. Yes.
For sure. So who do you have in your Final Four?
Florida. I can tell you, I did 2 brackets.
Are you only going to talk about one? With the one that you got.
I'll talk about the main one, which was the first one I did, and unfortunately, that's all talk. I have Florida, Duke, and there. I don't like it. I think so. The games I can see when I look at the bracket and I say, who's the team that can take the team away from making this all chalk? The St. John's Texas Tech game is going to scare the hell out of me in the Sweet 16. Sorry, in the Elite 8.
I think it's bold of you to assume that's going to be the matchup.
I think St. John's will beat Kansas or Arkansas, and I think Texas Tech will beat Missouri or Drake.
Okay, we'll see.
I mean, yes. I mean, we'll see. I definitely am talking very solid here, but I'm not sure. This is the tournament. That's the one thing. But I do think, and this is what I talked about last year, the amount of transfers that have left small schools and went to bigger schools and are actually really bench players make these really good teams really heads and shoulders better. Where if you come out like Clemson, you're not just going to go out there and shoot threes. And all right, fine. We'll drive. We'll get scores. We'll get buckets. They have size. They have strength. They have size. Like Florida's number one thing it does better than anybody else is hit the offensive glass. If it didn't hit the offensive glass with reckless abandon, they wouldn't be anywhere near as good as the team they are. But that's when you have poor shooting, they can get points that way, which rescues them. The Alabama is the 2 seed scares the hell out of me. I'm not high on Wisconsin, but they played really well today. Of course, they have played Montana. We'll see how they play with BYU. That's where I thought the upset was going to come from either VCU or BYU or Wisconsin. So I think that kicks them out, but we'll see. Duke, the question is all Cooper Flagg. If Cooper Flagg is, by the time we get to this, realistically, the Sweet 16, so next Friday, if he's 85%, 90%, Duke's going to roll into the Final Four. I just don't think there's another team that's there. Michigan State, I'm not sold as they're the greatest team. Iowa State, obviously losing their best player is going to hurt them. I have a North Carolina beating them. And then I have Michigan State beating North Carolina. They already did this year quite handily. Auburn, Texas A&M game was probably the matchup I see that they would struggle possibly with because it's a team they played before that knows what they're going to do and knows it there. And then the Florida-Maryland game. Once Florida gets past the Maryland game, I think they'll roll into the Final Four.
Yeah, I think Auburn will probably be the first 1 seed to fall. I'm not that high on Florida. They do have the benefit of an easy bracket. But I don't know. The
one question with Florida is their coach. Their coach has never passed the Sweet 16.
Sure.
So, he's the one that, by the way, Daquan Jeffries, who we bet at 7.5 points, has 7 points. So it's what I say. So far, in the next, when they got that down to 1 point, we wonder who's going to win the quarter. The answer was Charlotte because they just blew up and continued their lead. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I never think it's going to go that way. Should never go that way. But I really think there is a major gap difference in these 1s and 2s and some of the other teams.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely, yeah. It's I would agree with. I mean, it's one of those things though. You just sound stupid saying it because every year there's some 5 seed that sneaks on through or something like that. But I would agree that you can factually say the 1s and 2 seeds are head and shoulders above everyone. Obviously, that doesn't mean how it's going to shake out. But yeah, I'm tracking with you 100%.
We'll see. I really like Brumé. I think he's going to be there. And yeah, I don't see them losing to Creighton. I mean, if they get to Texas A&M, that could be the game. But Texas A&M, we already talked about, could lose tonight.
For sure. I mean, that's definitely. I also I really like Louisville in this tournament, and obviously they're already gone. So
yeah. Yeah, and I will say, once you get past, so FanDuel had a couple interesting bets. So one of the bets I gave, so like when you say, okay, you're talking 1s and 2s, you did a bracket, fine, that there. You put your money in your mouth. I gave out, it's on the pick sheet, because the number is there, and that's just kind of what I see. I took the 120-1 that the worst seed in the Elite Eight is a 2. I also hedged out with the worst seed is the Elite Eight is a 3, and the worst seed of the Elite Eight is a 4. And the numbers they were given on that was shocking.
what was the payout for 3?
So let me pull it up. Going through my bets here.
I got the sheet pulled up. Futures.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what the pre-flop was because I took it before it started. 26-1
on 3s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even like if you're gonna do it, you may as well take 1 and 2.
Yep.
Like I don't
20-1 on a 4, and then on a 2 was 120-1.
Yeah, I agree because I think I don't.
Now, my bigger bet is on the 120-1, which is odd for me. Normally, it would always be the opposite. I'd be conservative. I take the 4 at 20-1 and say, okay, I'm good with that. Because really, I don't see a 5. I don't see a 5. I don't see anything. And there's one thing I say people about the tournament, they kind of look at me and laugh, and I say, but I've heard it discussed this way. The tournament design is designed to be a facade that Cinderella has a chance. And I say that for one reason. Because the games start on Thursday, and then they have a quick turnaround Saturday, Sunday. So they're fine with the Cinderella going to the Sweet 16. They love it. They want all the Cinderellas to go to the Sweet 16. But the reason there's a 3-day break is so by the time you get to the Sweet 16, the big boys have 3 days to look at the film of the Cinderella. Now that we know there's Cinderellas that have gone through, George Mason there in the past, but in this new wave of transfers and the NIL and just having a better roster, there hasn't been as much. That is right. So once again, if you get through the Sweet 16, you have a quick turnaround to the Elite Eight. But we don't want you to be in the Final Four. We don't want you to get the championship game, so we're going to put another break.
I disagree with that, though. I mean, like, if you're just saying the design, sure.
Yes.
Is that all you're saying?
Design.
Sure. Yeah.
I heard the architect basically talk, and he was talking about the whole idea is we like to say, oh, it gives Cinderella, it gives that 64 team a chance. You're right. They do. They give step on the floor and they get a chance. Different than college football. But really, by the time they want the Elite Eight, they want powerhouse schools that are there. They're fine if one school kind of sneaks through, but they don't want that school to make the Final Four. Because they know once they get to the Final Four, in almost every year, they just get slaughtered.
Well, I mean, but then you look at the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been the case. I mean, of course, UConn ended up winning both those tournaments, but you look at the teams that made the Final Four. I mean, those low seeds snuck through. High seeds. I was there wrong. High seeds snuck through. Low seeds, whatever it is.
I always mess that up, higher and lower, because you're like, well, it's a low. Well, it's I understand.
Yeah. Low number, high seed.
FanDuel gave those lines. Yes. Yep.
I would agree. I think because I'm not crazy about any of the 3s or 4s. So I think you're right. It's either going to be all 1s and 2s, or it's going to be something like a 5 or worse.
Well, which 5 seed are you happy with? Oregon, I think they don't even make it there. Michigan, no, not looking at that. We talked about there. They're going to have a test. Memphis, if they get by this game and they get Hunter back, maybe. That's a team that could be very interesting if they win this game and can get Hunter back. Clemson already done.
So yes. I mean, just doing a quick scroll through. I mean, you got to worry about UCLA. You got to worry. I mean, I was gonna say you got to worry about Gonzaga, but they got Houston next, so they're getting bounced.
We haven't got to the UCLA game.
Yeah, I think BYU is scary. I think they got potential.
Because they're all like 26.
Say what?
Because they're all like 26 years old. They're grown.
That's true.
They should be third-year NBA players if they had the skill.
Getting Arkansas, Kansas in the first round is really good for that bet because obviously one of them is going to be wiped. And it would be really interesting to see Arkansas, St. John. That could mess you up.
But you got to remember, St. John's basically playing de facto home games all the way through the tournament until the Elite Eight.
Yeah. You never know with Carolina.
See, with Carolina, and people argue there, but I would say the committee looked at a whole lot of games that they lost. RJ Davis wasn't in the lineup. You look at the games they did lose with RJ Davis in the lineup. They were more competitive than not, and then they won a lot of those games too. So that was a big thing to look at. So Toppin hits his first 3. So off to a slow start there, but Daquan's got 6, 7. We talked about Nurkic. We catch the 5.5 in the second quarter. We get to start our night off with a.
What time it is? What time it is? What time it is? It's time to go. Ring that bell. Ring that bell.
Ring that bell. We'll take it. All right. Nurkic 5.5 points. I did actually take it. I took it, but so anytime you see that number of 5.5 for Nurkic, that's just too low. Yeah. So Nurkic 5.5 cashes. We'll go from there. Ball's off to a slow start. He's got 2 points. He's taken 4 shots. Mark Williams has got a 6-4 game. Bridges has got 4-6 game. 12 points for OG Anunoby. Knicks once again troubling to get out of gear here. Hart's got 3 assists already again. We'll take that to start the game. Nets up 10. Zaire, we talked about, has got 7. Watford's got 8. Sharp's on the board now. So that's 2. That's good. Siakam's got 3. Kind of a slow start here for the Pacers. We'll see kind of what's there. Maybe a chance to get on for them. Yeah, Gonzaga was there, and I know a lot of people love Georgia. They were hyping Georgia there. I just looked at some of these 8 and 9 games, and I was like, I don't want to touch these with the 10-foot pole. They played these games 10 times. Both teams might win. All right, we're tied up 28-28 in Arkansas, Kansas. Defense is not something that's really being prevalent in this game. Really strong shooting. It'll be interesting to see what the second half does. Hunter Dickinson misses a lay. Texas A&M comes out strong. They're up 11.
Yep. I have no idea why anyone was hot on Georgia.
What?
I didn't understand why anyone would be high on Georgia.
SEC. There's a massive SEC bias.
I mean, for sure. I mean, yeah, I was going to say is like they have some nice wins because they're playing in the SEC. But like, okay, they beat Vanderbilt. I mean, you look at their last 10 games. That's like their only impressive win. And even that, it's Vanderbilt. Like, it's really not that impressive. Like, lost in the first round to Oklahoma. They beat South Carolina. They beat Texas. Oh, that win against Florida is what it is.
That was a big one.
Smoked by Auburn, smoked by Missouri, smoked by A&M, beat by Mississippi State, smoked by Alabama. Like, yeah, it's kind of like I mean, that's the same thing with North Carolina State every year. Anytime they're in the tournament or in the talk, people are high on them just because, when you play those teams that many times, you're going to have some nice wins on your resume. But by no means does that make you a good team.
Well, that's my argument always for preseason rankings.
Yeah.
I don't think they should exist till week 4 in any sport. Because
but I mean, you got to give us something to talk about.
That's the whole reason they're there. Because you want to say hide win. It's like, well, I had somebody who argued with me and said, well, why does the media bring up quad? There's a quad 1 win. This is a quad 1 game, quad 2 game, all the things that you hear during the year. If in the end, the committee's not going to look at it as a high. I was like, I don't know why. The selection committee told you that wasn't their main metric they were looking at. But in order to hype up games, the new phrase of the day is, hey, this is a quad 1 game. This will be a big quad 1 game win for either team. And in the end, quad 1 wins counted shit. So I also have to feel, how do you personally feel that DeVries went to West Virginia for 1 year and then got up and left?
I wouldn't want to stay in West Virginia either.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And where's he going? Remind me.
He went to Indiana. Do you know where Creighton is?
It's in Indiana? St. Louis? Like, I thought it was in that area. No? Where is it?
Nebraska.
That's okay. Yeah.
So the argument I could say, I guess he wanted to get back to the Midwest a little closer to home, maybe people, friends and family, they could see his quicker flight kind of deal. But yeah, I mean, you got to have some loyalty. You can't take a college job and then bolt 1 year after you're done. That's like you become the coach because the team has a bunch of juniors or seniors or upcoming players that are ready to go. Then those guys bolt for the NFL or bolt for the NBA. And then you'll be like, well, I'm leaving here. There's nothing left in the pantry. We lost out on recruiting. I'm just taking off. I mean, you're on mute, by the way.
I know I am. I was letting you finish. No, I think the move to West Virginia was weird. I think that's the part of this equation that's kind of odd. But I don't think it's weird at all that he was jetted for Indiana as soon as that opportunity arose, because that's obviously a much more prestigious position.
But you tell all your kids, as soon as something bigger and better comes, please leave.
Yeah, well, them's the breaks. Like, I mean, if he has a kid that, is suddenly an NBA prospect and is going to be a lottery pick,
he does have a kid that's a very good basketball player, Tucker DeVries, who's transferred to Indiana already.
I mean, like, it happens. Like, I don't know why, like, coaches get, like, we all do this. Like, if you start a job and then a headhunter comes along and offers you significantly more pay to do the same thing somewhere else, you're going to take it.
I've never done it.
Have you ever had that opportunity?
Yes, twice.
Okay.
Once after 10 years and once 5 years into it.
Sure, there are obviously other factors too, but I mean,
you're a loyal guy. The grass is not always greener on the other side. Money is not always the key factor in these decisions. So, but yeah, I don't know. I understand what you're saying, and yeah, it's human nature to always want something bigger and better. But it's the problem with trying to follow college sports, and found that if the coach has absolutely no trust or loyalty to the school, how in the world do you expect any of the players to?
I don't. I think these 18-year-old kids don't think that deeply.
I'm shocked if some of these 18-year-old kids can read and write, but yeah.
Oh, he was at Drake before West Virginia.
Correct. Sorry.
Which was Drake's in Iowa. I knew that.
Yep.
Yeah. And if we're really gonna have this conversation, I also don't really understand why Indiana is still considered a prestigious position.
It's just in the Big Ten. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, they sent guys to the league. Khalil Ware last year is having a pretty nice year. in his rookie year. Other guys in previous years, Trace Jackson Davis. You have some nice teams. I don't think any of those teams are elite.
No, I'm not saying like just going to the Big Ten. I'm just saying like Indiana itself, like Hoosiers basketball, like that's considered to be one of the best positions in college basketball, and I don't know why it still holds that prestige.
Well, I mean, you have a huge fan base. You're going to have a huge endowment of money. There's a huge alumni. They love to pay for the flavor of the month. They do it in football. They do it in basketball after 2-3 years. After they don't really win something. But I understand what you're saying from a winning perspective there.
Yeah, like people want to talk about Indiana like it's Kentucky or Duke or Kansas, and it's just simply not.
What a block by AJ Storr. He actually did something this year. He hasn't done anything all year. He's been one of the major reasons they haven't gone anywhere. The Pacers have clawed back in this game. It's 34-31. The line was that they were giving us was 3.5. It's not really much to go on from there. 5.5 now in a 3-point game. Basically, your guys that are starting to kind of get together. Not too loving that they've opened up the bench to play 11 guys now, but yeah, that always means they're worried about winning this basketball game. So 2-4 for Sharp early, 7 points for Zaire, 6:33. Should get back in this game here. And a lot of these teams are playing. Now, I will going to sit there and say, I apologize for Alex Sarr losing live for three times in 7 days. I am going to absolutely kill the Wizards. What I did, I don't know why it just dawned on me last night. The Wizards are playing everybody 22 minutes. No guy is playing more than 22 minutes. And every guy is basically playing between 22 and 24 minutes. I know that's contradicts, but that's what they're doing. They're playing 10 guys, essentially equal playing time, and whatever happens, happens. Alex Sarr is not playing in the fourth quarter in most games. He's playing his time early. Maybe that's why he's scoring so much early. So it's something we need to look at for first quarter points. He would have cashed it every single time. If you play with underdog or prize pick, his first half points is probably rock solid to be able to get. Because once he plays that third quarter, he never comes back in the fourth. That's just what they're doing. Don't know why. That really kind of also hurts his rookie of the year chances. Because he should be getting some 30s and 10s like he's already had. Instead, he's getting 20 and 7. Something to just kind of keep your eye on. And kind of looking at with these teams when they've opened up these rosters here. Knicks always play a less roster. They don't play that many guys. They get games down to 7 points, so they are making a little bit of a comeback here. Waiting to see where I can get the next money line. They're still basically favored in this game, quite trailing. As soon as they can get where I can get a money line for a decent price, I'm going to take it. I don't think they're going to lose this game. Yale's cut it back to 8, and Drake has scored the first basket. Also, Drake and Curry, I think we're thrown out. So Drake's going to play a very, very slow-paced game. They're going to use most of the shot clock. And then they use a lot of DHO to dribble and try to get to the paint. They try to get to the foul line primarily to score. Came out in his first year. He won the Missouri Valley Conference MVP. Don't have a lot of size. That's the one issue with them. And definitely don't have a lot of depth. Early, it could be a long game break if they've got to go to their bench that way. But you're going to watch Bennett Sturts score most of the points. Probably, if I had to guess, probably 18, 19 points in this game. The second guy, basically, that you're going to see last score. The only inside guy is Cam Manu, but he's not really a big person. is there. Isaiah Jackson is more the facilitator. Abreu is basically that's the guys. Abreu, Mayanu, sorry, 8, 9, 10 point guys. But it's really as
I think Drake's the way to go too. I mean, again, I think Missouri falls in that same category as Georgia. Just playing in the SEC made them look better than they are. I'll always take the chance on a team that's just winning games. So while they might, at plus 200, I think it's worth the value because they're either going to go out there and get completely embarrassed by, a Power 5 school, or they're just going to continue to win like they have all season and dance on through.
Yeah, I have the 5.5, and I have the under. So that's what I'm trying to support here. See
you took the points. Interesting. I never. I guess it's a good way to go. I never really think to take the points in March.
When I think a game is going to go under, because I think it's going to be under. I'd rather have points in my pocket.
Yeah, for sure. That's fair. It's just kind of. Yeah, I'm more just thinking about who can win outright more so. Because again, I don't think this is the game where you might be right, but in my mind, I'm thinking Drake's either going to win outright or they're just going to get embarrassed. So let me take that plus 200.
Yeah. This is the conference I think I have a pretty good, clear understanding on. So hopefully I'm right. We'll see. I will say this Utah State UCLA game, I'm torn. I'm 100% torn in this game. I've gone back and forth. I've gone looking at, originally I said, oh, this should be a layup for UCLA. Then I looked at some of Utah State's out-of-conference opponents, how they played. I think they may hang around this game and maybe kind of get to the end where they got a chance to win this. We'll say we're going to get, 87, 88 points in this Arkansas, Kansas first half. Not something a lot of people predicted. 45-42 with a minute to go. What do we get, 95 points? What about the live on this?
85. You want the number on the total or the side?
Total 70.
Oh my gosh. Nothing's loading for me right now.
There we go, Yale. Keep this up.
170.
Yeah, 69.5 now. Staying an 80-point score. The original was 147, so the second half was going to be 70.
I'd probably go with the under there.
Yeah. It's not going to – we shouldn't get the same half.
No.
Should kind of revert back to the mean versus 89 points. I'm just going to wait to halftime and see what the number closest score is. 171. I missed the 169.
Oops. And now with your point, though. Come on now.
Scored again. 91 points.
Jeez. I do think, though, a high-scoring game definitely favors Arkansas.
Yep.
Well.
Ooh. Is he okay? He got the wind knocked out of him. That is a hard fall by Richmond. I've done that. It's not nice. Of course, I wasn't as high as Richmond was. I'm gonna I'll be full disclosure. Ooh. This is a surprise because Arkansas is without their leading scorer.
Yale cut the lead to 7.
Yep.
5 minutes left and a half.
Next up with 8. Nets are still at 6. Anything in the 7:30, 8 o'clock hockey games?
Great question.
Forgot they were on.
I'm just looking at that early slate. Colorado continues to dominate. They're up 4-0. But luckily, Toronto, they're up 2-1. So what?
Do we take the Bolts tonight?
Minus 120. With this game, I was going back and forth on, right? Because Tampa finally snapped that losing streak. Dallas has been sloppy. I probably would. I really didn't want to add another pick to my slate, especially just
it's not
given the
Ottinger,
odds.
Smith and goal.
Does that almost bode better for Dallas? Just try to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But they've been playing very poorly. Just at 120, I didn't really want to jump on it.
Yeah.
If Dallas takes a 1-0 lead, though, I'll absolutely take that live. Already said it, like Anaheim in Nashville. And then, Kings at Blackhawks. Always got to worry about Chicago at home. Chicago won their last 2 against. They've lost 5 in a row. So it's just one of those. It's a crapshoot with the Blackhawks. So no real interest in that game.
Yeah, don't blame you on there.
Looking at Islanders up 1-0. Might not be a bad idea to jump on Montreal. You can probably get a pretty solid number there. Probably worth a shot. Washington up 1-0 on Philly. Devils up 1-0 on Calgary.
Okay.
That might be. Calgary's been playing pretty poorly recently. Yeah. No. Let me see that. I'm going to see the live number on Montreal.
So yours got 10. I don't know why. I got to find out why you pulled already. Siakam.
Oh, Montreal scored. Didn't get a chance to bet it. 1-1.
I'll take that. 47-44 at the half. And there's that time where we all do every time this year where the world is true TV. Watch this Yale game for a little bit.
We'll see how that game progresses.
Brooklyn's up 10.
You bet any spring training?
I don't ever bet spring training. I bet some of the Tokyo series. I went 1-3.
Nice.
First game over 7.5. Nope. Cubs plus 1.5. Nope. Kyle Tucker two total bases. Nope. All right. Second game. Forget all the overs. We're just gonna take Tucker 2 total bases. That hit at plus 130. So not a great start to baseball, but it's early. And then, of course, that game went over, but no chance question whatsoever. But that Dodgers team is just – I was laughing at people taking over 106 wins. I'd take over 110 wins. I mean, maybe. That team's just going to be stacked.
Yeah, if you're going to – I'll be right back. I'm taking a break if you're going to talk about the Dodgers. I can't stand to hear it. I'll be right back. You let the people know what you think about Los Angeles and that
What's your why? I mean, I can see why anybody gets them because essentially they're the Yankees of what I grew up with, where the Yankees just overspent on everybody and just loaded up guys. That's essentially what the Dodgers. I mean, that team is just unreal. They've got about 8 or 9 starting pitchers.
There are 3 reasons I hate the Dodgers.
All right.
Number 1, I'm a Braves fan, and so just
Okay.
in this era. It's kind of been back and forth between us, and they, except for in 21, have always gotten the better of us. So I hate them for that reason.
They're deeper. They're deeper.
Not even they haven't always been. Like I think in 2020, I think the Braves had a better team. And then of course,
okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
And then Freddie leaves for the Dodgers. So that makes it so much worse. I used to live in LA. And Dodgers fans are the absolute worst. They're so fair.
I agree with that. I mean, you have stabbings after the stadium. You have all kinds of different things.
Yep. And they're so fair weather. I know people who went to the World Series game against Boston, the one that went like 16 innings. They left early. Yep. You're at a World Series game. Dodgers got the chance to win their first one in 50 years. Like not that long, like 30 or whatever. They're leaving early. They're just despicable. And then thirdly, yes, the spending. And it's just gross. It's just gross. It's not even, I hate to compare it. It's not even comparable to the Yankees because they would just go out and get the top, free agent here and there. They kind of finish the puzzle, so to speak. But they're just like, oh, hey, there's another good free agent. Let's go get him. And they are just spending like there's like payday ain't ever going to come. I don't know where they're getting this money. It's gross. And I just can't stand it. It's I won't say it's ruining the sport because there's always going to be a team like that, but it just makes them that much more hateable.
I do agree that though it's ruining the sport. If they go out and they win 110 games and win the World Series again, you cannot say it doesn't ruin the sport.
I don't think they will though, and that's the beautiful thing about baseball is that it's.
I see that as maybe constructed as the best team ever.
How many years in a row, though, could you have said that about the Dodgers? Maybe not ever, best team, but it's certainly the best constructed team in baseball.
Yes. I mean, when I say the best team ever, constructed team, because you could say, okay, they're a team that can actually go through about 4 or 5 major pitching injuries and still be okay. They could go through multiple guys in the offense. They won both games without Betts and Freeman, and they scored 7 runs in both games. Their bullpen is a bunch of guys who are basically ex-closers. So if closers probably the one thing that you look at their team, but it's still solid. It's not like it's below par. But, I mean, so I do kind of – I don't like it because – so in Baltimore here, I laugh because there's a different investment group that bought that happened to have investment. Guys thought around here they were going to be like Guggenheim and they were going to spend the money. I said, no, they're probably going to take the salary up 20, 30 million. That's it. Elias basically bought nobody except guys who are over the age of 40 and add in this team. The Orioles are still going to be good, but that's just your young guys that are there. They don't have to go over the hump because they don't have any pitching. So I just want to tell you that you have Yamamoto, Ohtani, Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, and Sasaki as your 5 pitchers for the Dodgers. Behind him, young Uber prospect Dustin May, who got hurt. Maybe he comes back to earth. Maybe he doesn't. But
what do you mean young Uber prospect?
Dustin May was a massive prospect when he got hurt. He was expected to fill right into the starting pitching lineup.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I think you're saying he is currently a young Uber prospect. Okay.
I'm wondering if he
yeah, for sure.
Not a bad guy to have in your back. Tony Gosling's done there before. He's won 15 games. Clayton Kershaw is still there. You still have him who's won. Gavin Stone has proven he's been a 10-win, 12-win pitcher on that team. And that's their starting pitcher. So they've got 3 or 4 guys they can go to if they get an injury, and those guys are all expected back. Their bullpen, not their closer, is Kirby Yates, Blake Trinan, Michael Kopech, Evan Phillips.
No, and so that's the thing too. That's what's the other thing that's so crazy about this team is like you can't replicate it because you can say, oh, we're going to spend and go get the free agents. No one else has ever been willing to spend. And then when those guys you paid all that money to don't work out, you say, whatever, we'll just go spend some more. Like,
correct. Yeah.
So,
I mean, Tanner Scott's that's the one guy I said he's a solid guy. He's not rock solid. We're not coming around and saying he's just lights out. But their lineup is – I didn't even notice that they added Michael Conforto this year.
Mm-hmm.
Which gives them a little bit more athleticism than what they've had. Yale's coming back. It's a 6-point game. The guy's student tech right now. Going to make it he misses it. It's going to make it no, he was not. All right, Zaire's back. I don't know why he had a minute stint. Maybe he got poked in the eye or something. I'll have to watch and see what's going on. But he's got 10 points now, so He needs one more basket for us to cash. Matherin's got 8 points if you tailed me on that. Toppin's got 5, so we're halfway there. Both of those are good. Siakam's 1 for 5, though, but he's capable of having big quarters. We'll see. Hart's got 5 assists. We need 2 more to cash on that. So we shall see. Ball's up to 10 points, so we're not dead. And we cashed Daquan Jeffries at 7.5. So we'll give a little another. What do we want to get? We'll go with that. Ring the bell, ring the bell. We always like a little cowbell on the show. Cash it. We'll take Daquan Jeffries, who most of you guys were probably figuring out who the world is Daquan Jeffries. And he had 7.5 points, and we cashed that in the first half. So
I'll still be right back up.
All right. So Daquan Jeffries is at 13.5. I'm going to nibble on that. Are we taking the under in the Kansas game? I don't know. I mean, are they really going to go out there and put up another 91 points? But they're not giving him a 91-point line. They're giving him the standard line of what it would be at 140, just adding what that total was to the end to make this at, what was it, 191, which was, what, 80 points? Let me make sure I can get to that. I was looking at NBA, so I got to go back. When Zarga goes back in, we'll go through tomorrow's games, what we do like and what we don't like, things like that. Drake's up 5 early. 170. So 170, 91. So we're giving a 79-point score. Man, this line was 147. That's the biggest thing when you look at this. And it was like, how the world is this going to go that much over? But they wasn't like they were all going out there and just jacking up threes. That's the biggest thing that gets me. Like, normally you go out there, you say, hey, team's shooting 60% from 3, so that's not going to continue. So we're definitely going to go on the under. But you look at the box score, and yes, Kansas is shooting 54% from 3, but they're 6 of 11, and Arkansas is 4 of 11. It's not a massive advantage here. That's not your big-time total points. They're just playing at the pace is unreal right now. If they continue to play at this pace, this is going to fly over. Are we taking Kansas money line? I'm in Arkansas plus 4.5, so until I can get Kansas plus some points, I'm holding off on it. Kansas money line, if you want to take it, is minus 122. Yeah, it goes back and forth. You can get Yale at 11.5 right now. They have little spurts where they look really good, and then they have spurts where they don't. Drake and Missouri is kind of what I expected. We were at a crawl. We're at 25 points in the first 10 minutes. I took the second half over as well, if truth be told, in the Arkansas-Kansas game. Fathead, I don't like the pace that we're playing at. And at this pace, I think it's going to go over. You won't need to be able to make your threes for that to go over. But I've got some points in pocket too, so we'll see what happens. We still got an hour away from Utah, UCLA to start off. I think I'm going to take Utah State. Line's gone down to 5.5. So the Blazers announced DeAndre Ayton is still not ready to go. The Avalanche are beating the shit out of the Senators 5-0. Maple Leafs and Rangers are tied. Lightning and Stars are still knotted up. Ducks and Preds are knotted up. Caps are up on the Flyers, and a bunch of scoreless games right now in the NHL. So we'll talk about the 8:30, 9 o'clock. Probably more about the 9 o'clock games. We hit the 8:30 game. In women's hoops, Washington is beating up on Columbia right now, 42-34. And no play on William & Mary and High Point. There is a CONCACAF U.S. game that's out there. What's the line on that? We're playing Panama tonight. And who's in the lineup right now? Where's Gerardo when I need him? All right, so U.S. playing Panama. We're in the 60th minute. U.S. Josh Sargent had a goal that was there. Timothy Weah is playing. Pulisic is playing. What is the live line can we get on the U.S.? This is going to count for World Cup qualifying, so this is not just like a play-around game. So you can get the U.S. at plus 100. I'm going to go ahead and take that. And I'll put that in the chat. I'm going to take that for a half unit. Plus 105. So plus 105. I'll ride the U.S. I like our lineup that's in there. It's a game we definitely do want to win. So. All right, I put it in the chat. I mean, yeah, we definitely could get a better money line, but you're looking at the stats in this game. The USA is dominating this game. It's only a matter of time till we score. We need this to advance to the finals, so this is a game we're definitely pulling. We're not pulling our starters for anything like that. I can get plus money on that. Like I said, the U.S. technically already scored there, but the goal was disallowed. So, I mean, we've got everybody playing. Way is playing. Pulisic's playing. Tyler Adams is playing. Weston McKennie's playing. We even got Tanner Tessman playing, who I couldn't tell you who the crap Tanner Tessman is. But he plays for Lyon. So, Joe Scally's playing. Mike Richards is playing. Tim Marine's playing. Yunus Musa. AC Milan. So I'm gonna watch that here. Maybe it's got to be on Fox, right? It's got to be on Fox. I mean, this game's kind of in there. So we got France, who did not win today. They suck. Or did they throw this game on HBO Max? Probably. Wofford, Tennessee, Yale, Texas A&M. That goes to halftime. So now we get to go find True TV. Anybody know what True TV on Fios is right off that? There we go. True TV. True TV HD. All right, we're still at a wondering score of 18-14. Missouri with a wide open 3, and he bricks it. But they get the offensive rebound. Guy falls down on the logo. And we're resetting. Guy looks like he's 30 and balding has got the ball. Couldn't tell you who's his name. Another miss there for Missouri. And it's 2 and done, and here comes Drake doing what they do. Walk the ball up. Take up time. Keep the score low. Then drive. Yep. Last 10 seconds. Here you go. Give it a starts. And another miss. All right. Well, that's another minute off the clock. Missouri trying to speed up this pace. Makes it 18-16 here with the layup. They're definitely trying to go one and done and get to the basket right away. And this guy's got a receding hairline at supposedly 20. Sure. Guy's got to be like 27. USA is up to plus 110. Every 5 minutes that goes, that line's going to continue to go up because they think it's going to draw. We're at halftime in the NBA. We've got Pacers and Nets 52-42. Zargo's back, so I told them we will discuss tomorrow's games. Me and Ramon did not discuss them yesterday when you got back. So. 10-point lead for both teams. Both dogs are up 10. Hart's got 5, 3, and 5. Carl Towns got 14, and Noby's got 14. Williams, Jeffries, and Ball each got 10. I dabbled back on Jeffries at 13.5. I took that for a half unit. I don't think I posted that, though. So let me post that.
Looking at the NHL, Anaheim's in Nashville just getting underway. Tampa Bay already up 1-0 on Dallas. Montreal Islanders tied. Rangers tied up with Leafs to score. There we go. It was tied. Toronto just took the lead once again.
All right, so that's going there. All right, so give me 1 second. I want to look at a couple things live here before the NBA sits right at halftime.
For sure. I will say I was looking at NHL standings, just thinking about the playoffs. I still really don't have that many futures down, just because we've just seen so much streaky play from top teams.
So is Columbus going to make it? So I can hear from the one guy who's going to cash his plus 600.
So it's really funny is they have to jump the Islanders and the Rangers and then beat out the Canadians. I think that's what's going to come down to. I don't think either New York team will be in. I think it's going to come down between Montreal and Columbus for that last playoff slot.
Okay.
Western Conference, that's pretty wrapped up unless Calgary catches fire again, but they've been sloppy of late, so I think Vancouver will hold on to that spot. And then looking at that conference, Winnipeg's been streaky. Edmonton overall has been solid. And Dallas can stay hot. I mean, they've got those nice additions. I think it's really Dallas or Edmonton out of the West.
You make any cup futures or conference?
Here and there. Like I've got a couple. Anytime I get like a free bet from a sports book, I always put a future on it. So like I have a future on Carolina, Edmonton, and Vegas.
FanDuel really big. Due to Maryland rules, you cannot bet on player props during the tournament. But yet they go and advertise that on the radio. They're like FanDuel because they're doing it as the national syndicate. Great place for player props. FanDuel is the best for college player props, and it's like, no, we cannot.
Trap, if you're getting plus money on the Canadians still to make the playoffs, I'd probably take it. But like I said, I see that slot coming down to Montreal and Columbus. But right now they got a 3-point lead on the Blue Jackets. Granted, that can go away in one night.
I was wondering if DraftKings was going to try to circumvent their rule of player props. Meaning where, like, they tell you can't bet on player props for football, but you can take the quarterback to throw 2 touchdowns or the wide receivers to score 2 touchdowns or different things that way, or the wide receivers to combine for over 165 yards or there. So it's kind of a way to bet player props, but you're not betting a player, you're betting the team. Mm-hmm. So the team props. But when you're betting the quarterback team props, like, do you really think the team's going to play 2 quarterbacks? All right, so the Knicks are plus 110 now. Gotta take a bite. It's 22-16, Drake. This game,
we like that. We like that.
You like
when you said we're going to talk tomorrow's plays, were you talking basketball?
So let's go through. I went through this, so we will go through tomorrow. So looking at the bracket tomorrow, I'll go in order. You trying to tell me where you're at.
Okay.
What a Norfolk. Any play in this game?
I'm sorry. What game?
Florida versus Norfolk. I'm going.
Okay. We said we're going in order. I was confused. We're not going by.
Okay, I'll go in order. I'll pull up the schedule.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit. That's just the way I'm looking at it.
All right, that's fine. All right, so Friday schedule. Hopefully, the early schedule is a lot better than the schedule we had today, because that was the schedule we had today. Really wasn't a lot of intrigue until you got to 3 o'clock. All right, so Friday, here we go. We open up 12:15. Actually, it's a great game.
Yep.
Baylor, Mississippi State.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're waiting on my
over under 142.5.
I mean, I think it's gonna be a tight game. It's gonna be a fun game. I got a slight lean to Baylor. Again, another SEC team. I really don't know how they got so many bids. But Baylor's nothing special. Experience.
But they have special players.
Yes, I was gonna say the experience and the plus money definitely gives me a lean to the Baylor Bears.
If they played like a mid-major team, meaning, hey, VJ Edgecombe's just going to have the ball. He's going to score 20, 25 points, and the rest of the guys are going to kind of just get 10 to 11 points, they would be able to do that without any problem. But they don't. Edgecombe basically 100% really sometimes doesn't know how good he is. There's a reason he's going to be a top 5 guy. I think he's probably going to end up being 2 in this draft. He's a very, very good player. Can do everything he wants with the ball, but boy, does he like to basically let other people take the flow, and then when they need him, he kind of steps in, which is fine at times. But to be an outstanding team, they could be better. Their one Achilles heel is they don't really have any size. Norchad Omeer's solid guy for college, gets a ton of rebounds, plays really well. But if you go up when he goes up against Duke's 7-footer, he's going to get destroyed.
For sure.
Yeah. So I like Baylor. I took Baylor plus the 1.5.
Why?
My distaste for the SEC, but
why would you not just take the plus money on the money line?
Because a lot of games end up in 1-point games, especially in college basketball in the tournament. I mean, I understand.
I guess. No, you're right. You're right. That's fair.
I'm going to sprinkle the money line, but you are right. 1.5 points is hardly anything.
Yeah, but if Mississippi State wins on a buzzer beater, you could still be getting paid, and I will not be.
Yeah. Alabama, Robert Morris, 22.5. Alabama's one of my favorite teams to bet on in the tournament.
Say more.
Because they just run and gun. They don't care who is in front of them. They don't look lightly to their opponent. They're going to score a ton of points. I have Alabama minus the 22.5.
Wow.
Drake's up 8.
I will say, if a 15 seed was to advance in this tournament, I do think it's Robert Morris.
Robert Morris could score, which is why I also like the over. Yep.
So I'm not. I might sprinkle the money line. I'm not, advising anyone to go throw a unit on it. But if it 2 seeds to fall, I think it'd be Alabama.
That sprinkles is less than $10.
It's probably exactly $10.
Okay, probably exactly $10. All right. Lipscomb, Iowa State. I've heard this is the one where I've heard, hey, if you're gonna there, and everyone loves because Iowa State lost their best player. They can't play. Well, the other guys are still Division I players, guys. And you're playing Lipscomb. Solid team. I know a bunch of people are on Lipscomb plus the points. No issue there if that's what you want to do. I've heard people say, I'm taking Lipscomb on the money line. I said, thank you for your donation. Iowa State's going to win the basketball.
Yeah. Because that's the thing is they kind of a criteria for a team like Lipscomb to make a run in this tournament, they need a far better record than 25-9. You look at a team like Lipscomb, you see the record. That's all you need to know, right?
Yep.
Like San Diego State, you look at that 30-3 or whatever, and that's kind of all right. Let's dig deeper. Lipscomb's 25-9. Iowa State's 24-9. That tells you a lot right there. So I completely agree. I might take the 14.5, but I will not be sprinkling this money line.
Colorado State, Memphis, the most talked. Well, in this day, it'll be the most talked about dog that there is.
But I'm in Memphis, and I can tell you it's the most talked about game since the bracket dropped.
Colorado State is probably a better scoring team, and also, I mean, losing Memphis, losing their number one point guard there, Hunter's not going to play, most likely. I think. But I wonder if the athletes of Memphis are too much for Colorado State from a coach that's been there before. And he will definitely have his guys running. I mean, he ran this game when James Wiseman wasn't able to play, and his team still went out there, and they were supposed to get smoked because Wiseman wasn't going to play in the tournament. And they went out there and he tends to make the Sweet 16 a lot. So I think it's kind of overblown. I'm taking Memphis on the money line.
Yep, I was my first bet I locked in. I got it plus 120 on Monday because Memphis missing their point guard is huge. But you got Haggerty, who put up 42 in that game against Wichita State. Colorado State hasn't played anyone. Yes, they're playing good basketball. So while missing that point guard will keep them potentially from making any kind of run in this tournament,
yeah,
they'll get past Colorado State.
I also try to fade the Mountain.
except for that 1 year, what was it, 23 or 24, fading the Mountain West is almost a perfect strategy and does very well.
Yeah. Duke Mount St. Mary's, I don't expect Flag to play. I think it would be a massive mistake if he steps on the court in this game. Do they cover 32.5? Duke tends to cover big teams, but without Flag, I'm not even touching this game.
Agreed.
Vanderbilt St. Mary's, probably the second most talked about game.
Absolutely.
Because people basically go, well, Vanderbilt is really the favorite, and that's not an upset by winning this game. But I think this is a different St. Mary's team. This is one of their best St. Mary's teams they've had. I'm taking St. Mary's. I'm trying to take them on the money line with somebody, but I haven't found it yet. Might be UNC.
Bold. I don't think you have to go that bold. I mean, you could just take like St. Mary's and
Maryland.
Yeah, maybe not quite Iowa State, but I'm just saying you could do a heavier favorite just to get it to plus money or close to even money.
That's what I try to do. I don't like it.
Maryland might be a good choice.
I like it on the money line. North Carolina Ole Miss. I've already given away what I'm taking in this game. I gave UNC to make the Sweet 16 at plus 310. I think if they get by Ole Miss, this is where the loss of having what's his name missing from Iowa State will be big. I think this North Carolina team can beat Iowa State. So I've got also everyone hearing, hey, you should never been in the tournament. You never been in the tournament. Those teams tend to do pretty well because that becomes a rallying cry for your team. Nobody thinks we're good enough to be here. Time to show you how good we really are.
Yeah,
you've got
absolutely.
Davis. Missouri can't score.
For sure. I completely agree. Yeah. And it kind of just going back to again, I mean, Toronto scored. Maple Leafs 4, Rangers 2.
Nice.
As an ACC fan, they have been in the same position the SEC is in so many times where you just have so many teams in the tournament. And by the weekend, most of them are gone. So that's what you're going to see here. Ole Miss, a 6 seed, is just crazy. So ended up making things very favorable for UNC.
Ring that bell, ring that bell. We're going to take it. Xavier Williams, 16 points. We needed 11.5. So he's soared over that. So we'll take that. Another casher for us here. So we're rolling through with the win. So we'll take that early on. So another win, we'll put it in the bank. All right. Yeah. So I like to think Grand Canyon, Maryland. I took the points with Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon has the size to play with this Maryland team. I really like this Maryland team. I bet this Maryland team a bunch. But I think this game going across country where Grand Canyon is going to have a shorter trip, probably maybe have equal fans or have enough fans in the stadium of them being the big dog that they're not going to be overwhelmed by the crowd. You get in 10.5. This Grand Canyon team can score. They've got size to compete with Maryland. And once you get past the Crab 5, there's not much left after the Crab 5. It's basically a bunch of people with crabs. I took the 10.5. I gave that way early as soon as this line comes out. I think this is going to be a pretty up and down game. I think it's going to be played with pace. Grand Canyon likes to play with pace. I think Maryland will have, and I think that would be their whole goal to try to tire out that Crabs as much as they can. I kind of like the over 149.5 as well.
Who does the winner of this game play?
Told me to turn this off. I got to switch. Hold on. They play somebody, and then they would play Florida.
So UConn? The winner of the UConn game?
I believe so.
Or Memphis?
I think UConn played. Florida plays the UConn.
You're right. That's right.
I think it would be the
Memphis. Yeah, it's going to be Memphis. Yeah. I mean, that'd be pretty sweet. That'd be really favorable for Memphis. I think I feel even better about my bet of Memphis to make the Sweet 16 because I do think it wouldn't be the craziest thing if Grand Canyon snuck out a win. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think. It is the Memphis Colorado Stadium. I don't think they win, but I think they because I like this Maryland team. I really do. I think that's the one team. Like I said, if Maryland, I think they would be a very interesting matchup versus Florida if they got there. We got Drake up 10.
Let's go.
Oh, he's felt. All right, Norfolk, Florida. I kind of agree with Florida minus 28.5. Kind of think they're a team that has no problem blowing teams out. I think they kind of do that right here. I just question whether the coach pulls the guys really, really early.
I mean, they beat Alabama by 22.
Yeah.
I think I rarely bet on the 116 games, but yes. I mean, Norfolk. This might be one where I throw the unit down and lay the 28.5.
All right. Siakam is just deciding he's not going to really play today. Troy in Kentucky. I know some people like Troy at 11.5 points. I've got no play in this. I think Kentucky advances. That's all I got.
Yeah. Every now, I do. I hate Kentucky. No real reason. Yeah. And I have faded them plenty of times before in the tournament, and it's worked out well. No strategic reason, but they are a team that are typically boom or bust. I'll probably lay off this one, though, just because I think there are so many good, smart spots on this slate tomorrow.
Yep. All right, so we go for the last 6 games. I'm going to ask you the question. 6 more games to play in the day. How many dogs of those 6 do I have winning?
How many dogs? 1, 2, 3. 3 is not. I mean, right? 3 of them are very close games.
Yep.
So, I mean, I personally would pick 3. But the fact that you're asking me, I feel like you got a 4th. You got something crazy you're going to throw at us. Maybe even 5, because I don't think Liberty would be that crazy. I have a feeling you are either fading Arizona or Michigan State.
All right. Close. We'll see. So we'll see. We'll count them off here. So we go to the 7. We go to the 7:25 game. And we've got The other talked about dog game is New Mexico versus Marquette.
Mm-hmm.
The world is on New Mexico. Most of the betting tickets are on New Mexico. I'll be honest with you, I don't know a damn thing about either of these teams. So it's about just what I've read. I haven't watched them. I couldn't tell you at all.
So it's funny about teams like this, right? Because you're right. Player-wise, haven't watched a second of them play this year. But you do have New Mexico, who historically likes to cause ruckus at the big dance. And then you have Shaka Smart and Marquette, another NCAA darling.
Yep.
However, just looking at their schedule and whatnot, I don't think New Mexico is that impressive this year. So I might throw Marquette in a parlay. I don't really have any conviction either way.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Akron, Arizona.
So do you not have it? Is that not, I mean.
I took New Mexico.
Okay. All right. So that's one dog.
That's one dog, yes. Akron, Arizona. I took
Zips.
New Mexico. Yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again. You breezed past
I
that.
said I took New Mexico, but now you have Akron, Arizona. 14.5 points.
Yeah.
This is one of my other favorites, but just like my favorite of Purdue, I don't know if it's going to come true. I like
Yeah, I mean, because Arizona's another team that typically does not play well in the tournament.
Correct.
I don't know.
Scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, and it's just Akron. I mean, I don't really think that highly
Akron
of
has
them.
no size whatsoever. None. They play 4 guards. You're going to jack up threes all game. They shoot threes better than Arizona. By far the better shooting team. But they have no size. Arizona should destroy them on the inside.
Yeah.
It's going to be the question of 3s versus 2s this game. I think there's enough 3s that they cover the 14.5. I've sprinkled the money line. And I love the over.
Okay. Over, I think, is a good way to go if you want to bet this bet. If you want to bet this game, I'm staying away because obviously no value in Arizona to money line, not even in parlay. The Wildcats do take care of bad teams. They are consistent with that. All their losses are quality losses. So while they may not be in the Sweet 16, I do not think the Zips are going to be the team that eliminates them. But 14.5 is too many for me to lay. So 167, that's probably a solid number to just hit the over.
All right. Technically, this is an upset. But I have Oklahoma beating UConn.
I mean, if we're talking money line, it's an upset.
Yep. It's an upset.
That's all we care about.
And the reason I say I worry about the UConn guards, you talk about what do you need to survive in this tournament is you need good guard play. Well, the one thing UConn does not have, which is kind of shocking considering the type of team they are, is good guard play. So obviously you're going to be very read by Caravan's going to have a pretty nice game, but I just don't see the great guards that they've had in the past. And I like Fears better than anybody they have out there. So,
yeah, I got no interest in touching this game because I don't see it. 147 is a perfectly placed number. No interest in the over the under. I don't have conviction with Oklahoma, and I'm not going to be risking UConn in any parlays. So, wouldn't blame anyone. Laying the 5.5 because at the end of the day, it is still a 2-time defending champ. But Oklahoma is a solid team. Yep. So I don't blame you.
Next game, the wrong team's favored. I said that last night when I had him to beat Texas. Ramon had the opposite way at Texas. I don't like this Illinois team. I think they're a flawed team. I don't think they're very good. I think that, again, like you talked about the SEC, they got stuff because they played in the Big Ten. And they got some Big Ten wins. But I don't really think the Big Ten was that great this year. After Michigan and Michigan State and Maryland, I think the rest of the teams are kind of But, I mean, obviously I'm not as much as on Whiskey. I was impressed with Whiskey today. Maybe I was a little off on them. But there are a lot of Big Ten teams that just aren't that very good. So I like Xavier to move on. I think they should be favored, so I will gladly take the 3.5 points, and I will gladly take the money line and move on.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't necessarily agree with your breakdown of the Big Ten because I think Wisconsin's a solid team. I think UCLA's got some play, but I do agree Illinois should not be as hyped as they are. And Xavier's they're strong. They're playing really good basketball at the right time, so I completely agree. I'll also be on that money line.
And Bryant, Michigan State, nothing.
Okay.
My favorite play of the entire day.
Wow. You saved it for the 10-10 slot?
Liberty plus 6.5, Liberty money line.
Oh, well, you're going to love to know that number went up to 7.5.
Oh, did it?
Yep.
Why?
Depends on the boat. So MGM has 7.5 at -115. Caesars and 365 have 7 at your -110.
You are talking about a team that's been there, a team that's well coached, a team that's going to play pack line defense versus an Oregon team. I just kind of thought towards the end of the year they were kind of lost. Got beat by Michigan State pretty handily. Beat
Twice.
Indiana. That doesn't really matter. Yeah. I don't think they're that good of a team. I think they're going to resemble. I think they're going to struggle, especially defensively, the ability to score consistently. I like the pack line defense. I'm going to take Liberty with the 12-5 upset on the last of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of a rare, unlike some of the other situations we've talked about. I think Oregon's properly seeded. I think based on their schedule, their wins, I do think they deserve to be a 5 seed. I think 7.5 is an appropriate spread. I don't think this was, anything improper, but I do agree this is a really nice spot for Liberty.
So I'm taking the points. That's my favorite play. I'm not saying the money line's my favorite play. I'm sprinkling the money line because I'm taking the points. But I love the I have them at 5.5. So you said the line's moved. I want to just make sure there's no injury or somebody hurt themselves.
No, I think it just got bet down. Because I think if you look at the box scores, Oregon looks like a really impressive team. I mean, they won. I don't know how many. They closed out their season on a win streak, and then beat Indiana handedly in the first round of the tournament, and then lost to Michigan State.
Yeah. Lillard's just been downgraded to questionable, so he's not going to go. Anytime you generally see a guy downloaded, that's not.
I don't know if this was the first game of the day. I don't know personally if I'd get there, but being the last one, if I'm up, I probably will pull the trigger on Liberty.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing for there. I'll post most of these plays tomorrow. I posted some other stuff, some futures plays and some futures parlays and stuff like that. We'll take a look at that. So we're waiting. We haven't got it official, but Lillard was downgraded. So no, I don't believe he's going to play. I think Giannis will go though. That is my thought process. I'm waiting for the Lakers like to kind of adjust. I'm going to look at my beat report on the Lakers and see what he says. Because I'd love to get on this early if Bronny James is going to go. But it wouldn't shock me if Markieff Morris got this. I will say, if Lillard's not going to go, and until he's not 100% ruled out, I should go take Kevin Porter. Sometimes I literally talk myself things, and I don't take things, even though I'm like, what I've discovered in the last month and a half, a lot of times I've basically been Hey, this game I'm not betting because it's going to be a blowout, but I don't take the -7. So we're going to go take Kevin Porter.
I'm firing on the Montreal Canadiens money line. We are 5 minutes into the second period. It's a tied game. The Canadiens have 22 shots on goal. The Islanders only have 7. That is an insane. I've never seen that many shots on goal this early in a game. There's no way they're not going to get something to fall, and especially with the defense being that strong. Still getting plus money on Montreal. I love it.
I got plus 112. All right. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to grab a water.
Yep.
We're going to the USA bet. It's going to go to freaking draw. We're going to go to extras. We do have a corner kick here right at the end. I should have switched back to the Arkansas game, see what we're doing here. Lightning are up 1-0. The Knicks got close, and then Charlotte pulled away again. We've got 6 assists for Hart. We need 1 more. Towns is having a nice game, 22 points. OG's got 22 points as well. Ball's up to 14. Daquan's got 13, so we need 1 more point to cash the reload. All right, let me go grab a water. I'll be right back. Panama scored.
Yep.
Holy shit. They scored. So the U.S. had a corner, and then they broke from the corner, and they got on the counterattack. The U.S. will not advance to the finals.
All right, I'll take a look around the NHL. Avalanche taking a 5-0 lead into the third period. Devils up 3-1, as we discussed. Flames just not playing good hockey. Second intermission, Leafs lead the Rangers 4-2. Caps blowing out the Flyers 3-1. I had a feeling you should have addressed that puck line. Scoreless in Panthers Blue Jackets. That might be one we look at. Canadian Islanders. Give me. Canucks Blues also scoreless coming into the second. Predators have a 1-0 lead on the Ducks in the first intermission. We are on Anaheim. Nothing to sweat there, though. As Fox said, Lightning 1-0. Kings 1-0 on the Blackhawks. So favorites for the most part. Taking care of business today. Oh, wish I had some more action. Just with this losing streak I've been on, I'm a little less apt to pull the trigger. I was hesitant to post the 3 plays I did today, but I just felt so good about them. Figured got to bust out of the slump eventually. Let's take a look at the college basketball. See where our scores are at. Here comes Kansas. That's not what I want to hear. It's not what I want to hear. We need Arkansas. They still hold a 1-point lead. Tennessee finish off Wofford. A&M holding strong as halfway through the second half. Man, oh man. It's crazy. It's so funny this time of year, right? Because you go from kind of a dull sporting time, not much to bet on, to a day like today where there are just endless options. I mean, we got a full hockey slate, crazy amount of college basketball, NBA, which I haven't even looked at till right now. But yeah, it's a beautiful time of year. I mean, I think it only.
Yeah. And
only time that would rival right now is that window in playoff baseball where hockey, basketball, and football are also like when you have the equinoxes, that's also beautiful. But I mean, just also there's the fact that none of those really compare to March Madness.
No, you've got so much going on. You've got hope for Cinderella. A lot of these teams are closer matched than people think. But I will say, if you joined us in there and you're on here all the time, always, if you're not a member, please use the code up top. NASCAR is back. The boys kill it in NASCAR. 1 week free trial. Go to nukethehouse.com to sign up, join the Discord, get all our plays that we give out early. All the NBA plays we're giving out probably 30, 45 minutes earlier. We have NASCAR plays. We have college basketball. We have guys talking soccer. We have guys in the Discord that are very good, members that are really good, giving college basketball there. Talk some shit, have a good time, good community, good thing. NASCAR is back. Is for 1 week free trial if you haven't tried us out. Other than that, we do free shows all the time. We do payroll shows as well. We do NASCAR shows on Sunday. Sometimes they're free. Most of the time they're for members. But we get ready. I know you guys laugh. WNBA starting in about a month. I made 54 units on the WNBA season last night. So I am very, very stoked for the WNBA. That I believe it's a league that you can get into edge for. So if you've never bet it before, doesn't matter whether they can make a layup. It just matters whether they can hit a point total or a rebound total. So it'll be interesting to kind of see. The draft's going to come up here right after the NCAA women's tournament ends. So we'll kind of see some of the new players with that. But we cover it all. But join us. Hopefully, if you're tuning in, hit the like button. That's all I ask for. Hit the like button. For those in YouTube, we got 118. We got people on X as well watching. I have no idea how many people are from X. But if not, make your way to YouTube. Hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. That's all I said. We'll just keep trying to give you winners. We're trying to go. We got a great Nets Pacer game, 71-69 that's going on right now. It goes back and forth. We are going to Siakam back because he has decided just not to be reveling in there. He's 1 for 6 to start the day. So we're going to get ready here to start the fourth quarter. Matherin's got 11. Naismith's got 14. Turner's got 16. Brooklyn basically being led 71-71 now. We're being tied. Zaire Williams is leading the way at 16 points. We already cashed him there. Sharp's up to 6 points. He's getting some extra run here. For some reason, Claxton is kind of sitting on the bench. We'll kind of see how that goes there. We need 3 more points from him to be able to cash his bet. He's 6-9 right now. 77-92. I don't know what the Knicks are doing, but Ball's got 17, which we're good at that. We need 7 more points to cash Ball. We'll see how that goes down the stretch. Mark Williams has got a double-double. Nurkic had a nice game at 9 and 7. Daquan Jeffries is back. He's into the game right now, 13-3. We need 1 more point to cash the reload. Looking at from a Knicks side, we need 1 assist from Josh Hart to cash his prop, and that's really all we were on for the Knickerbockers. And then we got some stuff at 10 o'clock. We'll start to talk as we start to get these lineups confirmed and see what's available. Did I write it to Kevin Porter? Yeah. I'm on Kevin Porter, 10.5 points. I don't think game is going to go. I'll wait for that confirmation before I post it. Kevin Herter, 12.5 points. We talked about that. We're going to go ahead and take that as well. Other than that, we're watching this college basketball. 64-65, Arkansas and Kansas. Gang, we definitely, the pace was totally different in the second half. This game still could have overtime. Still 38 points being scored. So talk about the first half where you had 90-something. So 40 points each 10 minutes. They barely are way off that pace, but still have overtime possibility if you took the over. You're not done. It's going to be a good game. It's going to come right down to the end. So it'll be a fun one to watch. Yale's dropped off the second half, which we're not too stoked about. Closed really bad in the end of the first. Got it down within 9. We're not dead yet. 7.5. Drake's looking good. 30-23. The under's looking fine in that game. But I said the under was great in Clemson at 45 points somehow. I took 2 bets. I took my 1 pre-flop, 134. That didn't cash. I gave out the 136. That cashed. But the fact to actually be sweating that was like the worst thing ever in the history of college basketball. All right, but we're going to move on to the next game because you want to talk about this because I think we're going to be on opposite sides here. Utah State and UCLA.
Yeah. This is an interesting one. Definitely, I don't know. It's kind of an ugly game, to be honest.
I'd agree with that. Yep.
Just, not really sure how either team found their way into the tournament, to be honest. I don't know how you find an edge in this one, other than going with the team that had the tougher schedule, because neither team's playing particularly great basketball right now. Neither team's coming in on a hot streak. Similar overall records, some bad losses, nothing really impressive in the win column. If I had to, I'd probably go UCLA, but I feel like you are going to make a case for Utah State, and you're going to have me pressing this plus 200 here in just a second.
I do think the wrong team is favored. I think this line should be 2.5 points for Utah State. Utah State is a solid basketball team. From a defensive standpoint, they can get after you, which is kind of nice to see in the tournament. They can still score. UCLA defense is definitely going to be better than anything they've seen, but I don't think they're going to have problems scoring. They don't really get beat on the glass. But like you said, there are definitely some questions on their outside competition, those things they've played. They got beat by Colorado State in their last 5, actually twice. One time, absolutely not even coming within close. I think they lost by 26 or something like that. But I think this is a game where you kind of look at a couple different things. In this game, can UCLA match their scoring if they go on a run? Games in Lexington, Kentucky, something where UCLA definitely hasn't played well. Dame is out as expected. That's been confirmed. As soon as Fathead says it, that's just confirmation. But it's being reported elsewhere there as well. Dame's out. Waiting to see who. It should be Kevin Porter. Should take his spot. Could be Gary Trent, but I'm going to put my lines that'll be there. Hopefully it's not Ryan Rollins. So Canadians money line plus 112. Oh, that was you. Rosario. Yep. So I like Utah State plus the points. I think it's definitely got up here. Like I said, I've got them as a 2-point favorite. I'll gladly take the 5.5 and just kind of sit from there. Yep.
So you're not jumping on the money line, but you'll take the points.
I took the 5.5. Yes.
Okay, I'll tell that. So I also love the under, just because neither team prefers to play fast pace. So I see this being kind of a gross, low scoring game.
Yep.
So I'll just take those two and then, risk a break even.
That'll work. Got a 3-point lead for Texas. Got an 8-point lead for Texas A&M. Second half just kicked off for Drake and Missouri, 30-20. We'll see if Missouri gets their act together. It looks like the two dogs in the NBA are going to win. Every time the Pacers get close, the Nets just push out a little bit farther, and they continue to do that consistently, and we'll kind of stay there. About 8 minutes left to go. 6-point lead here for the Nets. Now it's 7. Just can't close. Siakam might get about 10 points this game, which absolutely blows. Just nobody really come to scoring. I mean, you're in a game of 78-71 in the fourth quarter. This is like 1980s basketball. Waiting for Hart to get the other assist. That's always fun when we get to these points. 13-point lead here for the Charlotte Hornets, playing the Knickerbockers. Hart's got 10 and 6. Knicks continue to do this. They're not playing really well. Daquan Jeffries, get the reload. There's the 14 points. So, because 1 for 2 from the line, but we'll take it. That gives us the reload. So, where are we? Oh, we're here. All right. So, ring the bell, ring the bell, ring the bell. Where we go? Here comes Yale. Yep. Coming down the court.
6.
19 points. We need
Kansas has the ball. Go ahead.
Pacers cut it to 5.
Arkansas's got the ball down 3. Don't chunk up a 3. Come on, be smart.
Ooh, he's hurt. A groin issue there. Yale cuts it to 6. Right there. Firing away.
There we go. Jeez.
He blew a tire.
Yep.
Arkansas had a tremendous offense right there after he lost the ball. First guy got it, 2 dribble, pull up.
Yeah. He should have nailed that 3.
He also had 2 guys down low, completely uncovered.
No, I mean, I think pulling up's the right call. I don't know how he didn't get that rebound, though. He just let him have it.
Canada, Mexico for the right to play Panama. Both of those teams got to be stoked. All right, Trap God, I appreciate that. I know you've been rooting hard for Kansas, so I figured you definitely had something on Kansas. I mean, Holden's not here, so he's probably.
I was going to say, could Holden just not stand being live for, his a potential first-round exit by his Jayhawks?
Got a 1-point game here. We finally reached 40 points in the second half. Remember, we had 91 in the first half. College basketball. If the first half goes over, take the under. Oh, what a steal. Arkansas with the ball. Chance to take the lead. Calipari takes another drink. Have you ever watched the beginning show that comes on? Sometimes comes on that weird channel. What's that channel? It's like Near Freeform or something like that, and they have a whole thing on the. I guess it's like it's kind of like Hard Knocks for Arkansas basketball.
No, I haven't.
And he's interesting, and he talks about NALs and opinions there. We've got this recruit, so he was going down to see the kid that's coming, AC Munkert. What's his name? He's coming into Arkansas next year. Highly talented. He's got 2 kids coming in, and he's coming down so he flew down to Georgia to watch their high school basketball game. And he's like, well, I'm going to let you guys know I'm leaving at halftime kind of deal, but just there, got to see how the kids are doing. He's like, I got to do a lot more of these now because of NIL, and you never know who's staying or kind of leaving. And like, yeah. Oh. It's like I kind of feel it's more difficult for them to say no if I'm come down and they committed to me. So
Sure, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Probably as soon as Yale goes cold from 3, Texas A&M keeps stretching the lead. Oh, what a great play by Kansas. He threw it right to Arkansas.
Tough game.
Arkansas up 1. Minute 50 to go. We go around the horn. 3. They're up 4. 4 points. Start the drinking, Holden. Start the drinking. Because Kansas losing the first round. I mean, they look like this has been my issue with them. They lack a go-to guy. It's supposed to be Hunter Dickinson as their league scorer. Sorry, Trap God. But, I mean, it's not done. I mean, I think the biggest question I had with this team was you don't have Mayo or AJ Storr, like, take over. They just kind of stand on the side and kind of, all right, well, we'll see if the ball gets thrown to me. But, again, it could be the major issue. They just don't have a point guard. All right, good. Kevin Porter looks like he's going to be the starter, so I love the 10.5 points we got for that. They're still waiting on the Lakers. I saw one guy posted, but it wasn't a confirmed lineup, but he had Bronny James starting tonight, which is my worry.
Is that out of necessity?
I could see that they're going to punt the game. Why not?
Fair enough. Curry's in favor with LeBron.
Well, I mean, Curry's in favor. It's also a guy when he plays in the G League. He could score 25, 30 points a game. He has done it several times down there.
Yeah, and Kenny Lofton Jr. was the MVP of the G League. You don't see him starting on any NBA rosters.
Colby Jones was an MVP of the G League. Namus Keita was an MVP of the G League.
Okay, sure. We can sit here and pick and choose. We can find.
Well, those guys are in the NBA now. I'm just saying, in a game that the other team's probably not going to play that hard either. I mean, Milwaukee would have no problem just saying, okay, we're going to play run and gun in this game.
It's also just interesting because, like, how many teams have guys like that? They're just kind of up and down from the G League,
Yep.
and no one thinks anything of because why would they?
But a lot of times the NBA, if you get the volume, like I truly believe some of the worst guys could be 20-point scorers if they're just allowed to shoot 24 times a game like others.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and get caught. Not that Luka's not a great shooter. He's a great shooter, but he gets some of the crappiest free throw line calls there. It's like, oh, he shot 4 for 21. But
yeah, for sure. If they want to, if they're committed to going out there and playing like James Harden.
Yes. I mean, any guy can go out there and jack up enough shots and eventually they'll go in. All right, Kansas cuts to 2. Minute 23. Scoring drought. Kansas has 0 field goals in the last 3.5 minutes. Not exactly the way to win a championship.
Yeah, I don't think Yale's going to make that comeback.
We're on a 2-3 zone. Kansas making them work. Arkansas not doing anything. I mean, they're just running that clock out and was hoping for a foul. Instead, they get a travel. I don't know what the world that was. That was just stupid. Coach, you got to call timeout there. I mean, you're playing a 2-3 zone in the defense. You want to move the ball side to side. You want to then brace the wings. You want to basically come up through midline and be able to touch the ball and move it. You had your big move from spot A, one spot of the free throw, cross free throw to the other side, stand there and post up. Every other guy stood in their same exact spot for the entire shot clock. And then wondered down by the end why they didn't get a shot. And then Kansas goes right down and then throws the ball to Arkansas again. The lack of away. The number one thing that's killing Kansas. They don't have a guy who can get them the ball. All right, we're waiting for confirmed lineups of these 10 o'clock games. We might be waiting a while. It's only 9:14. Trying to get a leak lineup. Start doing Twitter runs for Bronny James. See if a beat writer says something.
Sweet. It's really like, I mean, so many of these games come down to free throws, and it's really crazy to imagine like that level of pressure, not just like the pressure of the situation, right? Like you think about the UNC Duke game in the ACC or the semifinals, like playing that level of college ball, like it's to be expected. But when you get some of these smaller schools and you're at the line for the game, like that has to be a situation you never dreamt you would be.
No, it's got to be something you got to be stoked about, but you got to sit there and wonder. I had an issue shooting free throws in high school where I just got nervous.
Sure.
So my knees would shake.
Yeah.
And guys would foul me. I shot 74% from the line, which isn't great, but I shot 74% from the line. It wasn't like I was a 50% shooter.
Sure.
But guys would foul, like, oh, he's scared of the moment. I'm like, I would try so hard, but I felt calm, but my knees would shake. Sometimes it was just because I was cold, but and obviously I didn't help my free throw shooting percentage, I'm sure, moving. But it was something I had to deal with. Yeah, I couldn't imagine trying to do that in college. It would be just like.
And it's so funny to think about like the trajectory of their season and just what that, I mean, like, maybe at some point in the season you're on the line to win the game, like win a college game. That's crazy. Maybe the conference tournament in the Mountain West. Ooh. But then like to find yourself in the NCAA tournament on the line, like
you're in a small school. This is your dream.
Exactly. Like I can't even imagine. You must be thinking, like, I can't believe I was nervous about that November game when this is where I am now.
Arkansas is up 6 with 20 seconds to go.
Anaheim just scored, so we got a tie game in Nashville.
Nice. All right, let's see what Kansas needs a 3 here. Daquan Harris runs into OJ Mayo. Mayo kicks it out, and he got a look, and he hits it. 3-point game.
God, you're so far ahead of me.
Sorry, I apologize.
No, it's okay. They just fouled Wagner. Like that's how far behind. Or Wagner fouled.
They just went to a timeout.
Yeah, I'm about to see the play you just gave. The play
breaks up 9.
There it is.
Down 13. Not doing well.
No.
Texas A&M is kind of pulling away here, and the key thing with Yale's 6 of 17 from 3. That's what couldn't happen. They couldn't come out and shoot 30%. No. Hornets beat the Knicks. They get their 18th win of the season. We got LaMelo Ball. Didn't even realize it. Ball over 23.5 points comes in. We kind of got off because we started watching the Arkansas game, but we will take it. We swept that game. So 5-0 in that game. We will take it. It's good because we're not going to go 5-0 in the other game. So we hit Zaire Williams. We're not going to hit Sharp. He's not going to get in the game. Oh, we got to. We do not hit Josh Hart. I apologize. We don't go 5-0. He actually never gets that 7th assist, which stunk. That was plus money. See, how come we already knew we weren't going to hit? Let's see. What did Obi do? It's a 5-point game. We're not done yet. He's got 7. Matherin hit me for the 16.5, so that was good for me. Down 5 with 2 minutes to go to the Pacers. Neither team going to break 100.
All right, I'm probably gone after this Kansas game wraps up.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll call it a night. That's good. Actually, I might stay with the guys just to give them until the NBA lineups.
That's fair. That's fair.
Set up. Yeah. So that should be 9:30. So I'm fine if you still need to go. Oh.
Yeah, we seem pretty Senator going to lose, Leafs should win, and then it'll be a while.
What did you end up having? Baby girl, baby boy?
I have a girl due any day now. That's what I told Holden. He asked me to do this show, and I said,
he was saying she was in labor.
No. Well, that was the joke because I said,
Yeah.
I said I would do this show, but no, my wife is today's the due date, so as long as she's going to labor, I'll be on. And he said, unless she's crowning, I'll expect you on the show. So
Okay,
we're still good, but any day we'll be having a little girl.
you excited?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
Watch.
Probably not. I didn't the first time. I don't plan to this time. Did you? Of course you did. Of course you did.
I mean, well, you watch as long as you can, and then in the end, you're like, "Here, I'll hold your hand up here. Let me just there." I don't ever want to look at that. I'll never go down there again.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Is it's like you have to. It's not just like it's there. Like you have to choose. I'm like exactly. I'll stay up here with you and hold your hand. Seems like the better option.
Well, I have a photographic memory, so that's not anything.
Not something you're gonna be able to pull out.
So yeah. So I mean, both of mine ended up having a episiotomy, so that was even worse.
Thank you, gnarly Gerardo, man. You're crazy. But to each his own, I guess.
But I mean, it takes your time. I mean, you have plenty of time there, so you start from there, and then when they have there, then I kind of have to move up, hold your hand, kind of. But you'll do your little kind of looks a couple times, and yep, it's definitely interesting. And got to remember, when my first one was born, you're still a little older than me. I mean, I was 22.
Oh wow!
So our biggest issue was like when we were leaving the hospital with my daughter, and because they finally put you in a wheelchair, and we have healthcare, so we stayed there for 3 days. So the nurse is taking care of the babies, a lot of things of that nature. You're spending the time, but they're doing a lot of extra time to give you time to rest. And then you kind of leave the hospital and you get to your car, and the very first thing you're like is, oh shit. Like they're going to let us leave with it?
Right. No instruction manual. They just,
I don't know. And everyone does it. The drive home from the hospital when you have the baby in the car seat in the back, because you'll check it like 18 times.
You will.
And you're going to go about 30 miles an hour. If you go over 30, it's generally shocking. And then you get home, and then you're like, now what?
Yeah.
Because that's when you start to see your life has changed. If the baby's asleep, now's the time to take a nap. So, but congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Good to hear for you. Yep. So, yeah. Let us know when everything's all done and she has the baby. So.
We'll do. Appreciate it.
Get your sleep while you can.
Oh, I know, man. That's the only thing I'm not looking forward to is I just how.
Oh, there'll be moments you're looking to when you hold it. Am I holding it too much? Am I pushing too much? How do I kind of get there? When it sleeps, it's not sleeping. It's going through. And I mean, now it's a little bit different. You've got a lot more baby monitors that can actually see before we're just kind of like hearing. Did he stop? Did he sit on the side? All right, let's go check. Yeah.
I can't even imagine a life without high quality baby monitors.
No. So I'll set the zone. I was 22. My wife just finished college. Had a job already starting there. I was working a sales job every now and then. Still there at Circuit City.
Nice.
And kind of
appreciate it, Hammer.
Not a pot to piss in. And like, yep, here's how life is going to go. Arkansas is going to win this 77-72, 2.9 seconds. It's time to empty the bench out, guys. Get kids that'll never have a chance to say, Drake's up 15. Yale's cut it to 9 here. The last 3 minutes is going to be interesting. Kid just needs to make one. He makes one. This game's over. I'm moving over to the next game.
Tremendous. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all soon enough. I might jump on. Because they're doing this live show tomorrow, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all win some money.
Let's come on Saturday, and I said unless my wife continues to be sick, I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
But if she continues to be sick, I said I'll pop on.
I'll catch y'all in the Discord later, boys.
Yep. Take it easy. Thanks for having us, Zarga.
Of course.
Yep. The offshore's not letting you bet Porter? Oh, that sucks. All right, let's see if we got confirmed lineups. We're going to be on here for about 10, 15 more minutes. We're going to ride this Yale game to the end and hopefully get some confirmed lineups on the NBA to see if there's anything that's worth taking. One of the things that might be an interesting look in this game is trying to see what they give you. So Bronny James is sitting at 6.5. The fact that he's just sitting there has just got me thinking, oh. We're already on Herder. We're riding that out. I'm already on Jonas Valanciunas. I forgot to post that. I'll post that. We talked about it in the chat. But yeah. This is an absolute dreadful picture. Oh, why am I not on HD? All right, Yale's down 11 again. We needed 3 to get this back to within 8. It's 2:30. Texas A&M is at the line. Not what we want to see. Come on, kid. Miss a free throw. Oh, nope. He gets the roll. 12-point game, 229. Here comes the jacked up 3. Comes off the DHO, sets the screen. Big man for 3. Misses it, hits the front iron. That might be the end of it. Oh, that's a killer. 3 for the Aggies. They're up 15. Yeah, this is not going to go our way. Get a quick basket from Yale, but yeah. Maybe the cover's still in play, but yeah, they're definitely not advancing. All right, so we've got last couple of minutes. We're waiting to see these NBA plays. The Yale play doesn't look like it's going to come through. That's going to be sucky. That looked good. Then it didn't. It's the way it goes. I might take the Warriors minus 14. Zach LaVine is back in the lineup. Domantas Sabonis continues to be out, which is expected. So nothing really new there. We're just, if you had the under this game, you're going to be pissed. This is just a line to the free throw line. Misses them both. That's what we needed. In the double bonus. See if we can cut it to 10. Come on, kid. Give it to a guard to shoot. And he does. He misses. Gets the offensive rebound. Inside. Oh, you had the baseline 3. You were late. Inside. There we go. Cut it to 11. Come on. Let's get this. Foul the one guy again because he missed both of them already, and they weren't even close. That's the guy you want to keep fouling. Texas A&M doing a much better job of not giving that guy the ball. They're playing regular defense. They're just going to play it out. Miss. Rebound. We're at 11. A 3 gets us to 8. Kick out. He's wide open on top of the key. And he bricked it. Foul the big guy again because he sucks. Multiple chances here to get this to 8. $66-77. Oh. See if we got any confirmed lineup yet. Still waiting. The Nets and Pacers went to overtime. Didn't even realize that. Zaire Williams is 19 points. Tilo's got 20. Siakam is still only with 5. So overtime's not out. Nemard's not even playing overtime. It's TJ McConnell. Pacers take the lead, 93-92. Bennett Mathurin, he's up to 24 points. Someone's got to tell Jalen Wilson, when you actually get a chance to start, you can't just take 4 shots. All right, they got it down to 10. They keep taking 2s here. Holodakis. Got it down to 10. 7.5 is within reach. Hopefully, let's see. They got a foul, though. They haven't been fouled. They're letting Texas A&M just dribble out the clock, which is kind of interesting. Not sure why you've been doing that. We do have another game getting ready to start. We went through it. There, Utah UCLA is tied up 8-8. Omaha St. John's is next, and then UC San Diego, Michigan. Everyone's their favorite. A lot of hype coming on UC San Diego. They will have the best player on the court. Drake's up 11. Missouri's still trying to speed up their pace. They have a little bit. They've got 30 points in the second half. They had 50 in the first half, so still on this pace to go way, way, way under. Pre-flop under was 133, so we're going to definitely have some fouling, but you don't foul this Drake team. Except their one big guy's Makano. Every other guy shoots like 85%. So Wizards are in action tomorrow. So if you're wondering, they play the Magic. Magic are going to win that game. All right, we get the double pass out of bounds, and we get the fouled immediately. All right. Texas A&M shooting 58% from the line tonight, though. 31 seconds to go. Pacers and Nets keep exchanging baskets. Tampa Bay's tied with Dallas in hockey. I know we took the Habs. They're losing by 1. We took Anaheim on the money line. They're up 3-1, so that's nice. $95-95. I gotta say, did Nemgard get hurt? Is that why he's not playing? He's not playing at all in the second half. I mean, in this overtime at all. 96-95. Nets are up 1. All right, 11-point game. They hit 1 out of 2, and he traveled. That's what you want. You can't do that. Big man, you get the pass. You're the outlet guy. You can't travel. That's a big call. And Yale is going to call off the dogs, it looks like. Or actually, the one guy's on the ground. That wouldn't be good. That's what's his name? That's Taylor. Yeah, Wade Taylor is the one on the ground right now. Is in definite discomfort? He's fine. Pacers up 1. I mean, Mathern's getting the ball and basically turning into a black hole. Yale gave up, was just going to let him dribble out the clock, and the guy lost the dribble. So we get a basket, make it 9 with 13 seconds. Yale backed off, and the guy went to go try to score, and he dribbled out of bounds, and he had to just jump it, and that's it. We're not going to get the cover. Texas A&M is going to win by 9 points. Well, we move on to the next one. Drake's up 8, 7:30 to go. Utah State's down 2, 10-12. Pacers keep exchanging baskets. This is the Benedict Mathurin show for the Pacers. All right, let's see if we got confirmed. We're at 9:38. We should have some confirmed lineups now. And then we'll just go from there. Playing Herder, that's confirmed. He's going. It's Baselis and Vucevic. Toronto is running quickly. Abaji, Barnes, Mugba, and Otto. There's really nothing to be able to take in this game. Pods is going to play again. He's back with Moody. Golden State's going to run their normal lineup. I mean, the only thing you could take in this game if you just want to take the -14 or -15. Because they're going to pull A.J. Lawson. Those kind of guys are all going to get significant minutes. If you could get anything on Castleton's rebounds, I would be considering that. Let's see if FanDuel offers any of the backups that I like. Nope. Unless your name is Orlando Robinson, none of those guys are offered. Yeah, there's nothing to take. I mean, I'll sprinkle the -15, but that's about it. I don't think this can be much of a game. Let's go. 3 units. Panthers win in overtime. There you go, Gerardo. Gerardo picks up 3 units. We're always happy when our guys win. All right. Sacramento, we're taking Jonas Valanciunas, Monk and DeRozan and Kobe Jones at 20 points apiece. Still waiting on the Lakers line. Let me see if I can find it online. I really think he ends up starting for some reason. What's Underdog saying? Oh, Nemhard got ejected. Okay. So Jared Vanderbilt is the latest guy that will not play. Still waiting on the Lakers lineup. The fact that we're still waiting on it is really sad. Looks like Ryan Rawlings will start for the Bucks. Not Kevin Porter, which I don't like to see. I actually like Ryan Rawlings as a player. He's got great length for them. It's a great contrast to Dame. He just doesn't take enough shots. All right, I'm not sitting here too long for the Lakers game, so we'll call it there. We have enough wins, 6 or 7 to my knowledge, so we'll take that there. We're still going through. Pacers are still playing. Maybe Toppin gets in to give us this last couple wins. Doesn't matter. I doubt it. 1-point game. Pacers are leading. So we've got some other things late. We'll see what's happened. So thank you, Evan, for the joy. All I ask is just hit the like button. All right. See everybody. See everybody next week. Goodbye.